What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast and I'm finally back from a short break here on YouTube. We're in the new season of GBL. There are so many Pokemon that have been buffed this season, but unfortunately as usual I'm very low on charge TMs, so it's going to be very difficult for me to showcase a lot of the spicier picks. So if you have some spicy gameplay featuring any of the newly buffed Pokemon, feel free to submit the battles via the link in the description. I'm going on holiday on the 8th of June until the 15th, so I'm going to be pre-recording a lot of videos, so I would definitely advise sending in your battles as soon as possible for the best chance of being featured. Also, you may have noticed that I've got a brand new channel logo and overlay. It's certainly been a long time coming, especially the logo. So shout out to Zaplatinsky, who has also recently redesigned Dan Ottawa's channel, as well as Chillis FM, so you might see some similarities in those designs. I think he's done an incredible job, especially since it took a fair bit of back and forth before I was even able to start picturing what I wanted. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Anyways, let's get on to the team. We've got the level 51 best buddy boosted male Salandit making a return, this time alongside Salazzle, both with the newly buffed Poison Fang, which genuinely does make them a lot better, as well as Lurantis in the lead with its new fast move leafage, which allowed it to farm down so many Swampert counter swaps that came into my Salazzle safe swap. So of course these are early rank battles, there are going to be some wacky team comps, some underleveled Pokemon. I've tried to remove most of the weird teams that were just super easy wins, but with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. What is the hidden gem of the new move update, a Pokemon that you think has really improved but it's kind of gone under the radar? Not a lot of people are talking about it, no one's really using it, but you found a lot of early success whilst running it. Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead into an Abomasnow, so we're instantly going to swap into our Salazzle. The opponent responds with a Shadow Swampert, and they make it to the Hydro Cannon before we even make it to a Dragon Pulse, so I'm just going to let Salazzle go down. Unfortunately, there was just nothing we could do there, and it's not looking too good for us, but this is where Leafage comes in. We can now fully fast move, farm down the Shadow Swampert, whereas we would not be able to do that with Fury Cutter, and now I'm actually going to wait my Switch Clock out here, because I don't want this Abomasnow to be able to throw a charge move into me. So now the switch clock is up, I swap into my Salandit, the opponent is staying in, and this is giving me the impression that they don't have a strong response to my Salandit in the back, so I'm now going to go for the Poison Fang. The opponent does actually use a shield there, they clearly don't have a good response, so I'm now going to shield up this charge move. They go for a Weather Ball, and they've got a Galvantula. We don't have much health, but we make it to the Flamethrower in time, and this Flamethrower easily takes out the Galvantula, and they come back in with a Abomasnow, going for a charge move. We can shield this up, the Poison Jab does go through, and we take out the Abomasnow, and we take that game. So very nice sweep with the Salandit in game number 1. Into the next battle, we see Talonflame in the lead, awful lead for us, gonna go for one Leafage, and then swap into my Salazzle, and the reason for that is because if I swap out straight away, I'm one turn behind, doesn't really benefit me too much, but if I go for one fast move, first of all, I'm not going to take that Incinerate damage onto my Salazzle, but secondly, it does put me 3 turns behind, where it's actually not so bad if I go for a Poison Fang first. And here we bait out another Swampert, but they let the Dragon Pulse go through, and they go for a full farm down instead. And we're going to come in with the Lurantis. They're only going to get to one charge move, as a second Leafage will take them out. They go for the Earthquake, makes a lot of sense. We come in with the Salandit, and we get the farm down with the Poison Jabs. They come in with a Wall Rain. They've got 2 shields remaining. I'm going to go for a Poison Fang bait here. And the opponent does use a shield. And at this point, I can safely let this go through. Just going to be an Icicle Spear. We do live that, sorry. Now I'm going for the Flamethrower. If they let this go through, Flamethrower would probably take them out. But instead, I grab the final shield. We're one Leafage away from a Leaf Blade. And we now have the energy. We can go for that Leaf Blade. Even if they had the back-to-back Icicle Spears, we would win CMP, but Leaf Blade takes out the Wall Rain, and we take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see a Swampert in the lead, so great lead for us. The opponent staying in, and then they swap into a Alola Marowak. This is absolutely awful for my team. It completely core breaks the entire team, so I have no clue what I'm going to do here. I'm going to use a shield. They can just spam Bone Clubs, but they're running Flame Wheel and not Bone Club. So now we've got a chance, although I'm going to go for a risky bait. The opponent calls it, or they don't know what Salazzle's moves are. One of the two. I'm not really sure. It doesn't really matter why they did that, but they did it, and now they do let the second Poison Fang go through. Here, I wasn't sure if I'd live 3 Mud Shots, so I did just go for the Poison Fang, and that looks like that might have been the right thing to do there. We're going to come in with Lurantis. We don't know what they've got in the back, so I do shield that up. They do make it to another charge move in time. This will now be the Earthquake. It does big damage. They come in with Talonflame, and all we have to do is go for a Poison Fang before they reach the Brave Bird. And even though they have a good matchup here, we should be looking fine. They have to go for Brave Bird to take us out, but they're running Hurricane, and that unfortunately does not debuff their defense by 3 stages. And now this superpower is not enough damage to take them out, whereas if they went for Brave Bird, then we would have been able to win that game. But unfortunately, an odd moveset on my opponent's end does actually allow them to win that. Although, of course, if Alola Marowak had the Bone Club, we would have been absolutely screwed right from the start. But into this battle, we see a Poliwrath in the lead. This is a good matchup, especially now that we do have leafage, as one single Leaf Blade will easily be enough damage from this range to take them out. And here, I'm going to be fancy. I'm going to shield up this Ice Punch, and then I'm thinking they might be weak to Lurantis in the back. So I'm going to swap, catch the next Ice Punch, preserve the health, and preserve a shield on my Lurantis, and a little bit of energy as well. We also get the Poison Jab farm down, and let's see what they've got in the back. They come in with a Vespiquen running Bug Bite, which is very interesting. We go for the Flamethrower. We do big damage. We take them out with a Poison Jab, and the opponent just concedes the match there. So no clue what they had in the back, but it obviously wasn't very strong up against Salandit. Now into the next battle, we see the newly buffed Dunsparce. The opponent goes for a catch there, and we're still going to throw a superpower anyways. We need to win switch advantage here, so I'm going to do all that damage straight away. Now go for a Poison Fang, and this won't be enough to take them out. But if they throw an alignment like they do here, I should just barely live this and go for a full Incinerate farm down, coming out with just a couple of HP and a Poison Fang loaded. So that was best case scenario. We maintain alignment and we don't give up a shield either, so that's great. We can now come in with the Lurantis, and we're going to go for a Leaf Blade on the CMP tie. The opponent does not want to waste all of this energy, so they do use a shield. They go for a Rock Slide, doesn't do too much damage, but they are at the back-to-back moves already. They go for Rock Slide number 2, and we are going to overfarm in this matchup. Go for a Leaf Blade here just before they make it to Rock Slide number 3, and we're not sure what they've got in the back, so I'm thinking I have to preserve the health on my Lurantis once again. Gonna shield this up, swap into my Salandit, and they've got a Azumarill in the back. Now typically fire types don't do very well up against Azu, but this Salandit is also part poison. That Poison Fang did huge damage, and then I think they're at a Hydro Pump now, but they go for an Ice Beam. It barely doesn't take me out. We don't get to the Poison Fang. It does not matter, as we're able to farm down the Azu, come out with a Superpower loaded, and Superpower takes out the Dunsparce, and we take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see a Greedent in the lead. Now, all 3 Pokemon do resist the Bullet Seeds, and actually the 2 Pokemon in the back do double resist it, although these Body Slams are going to chunk quite a fair bit. We don't have the strongest or bulkiest Pokemon on this team. We go for a Superpower, grabbing a shield. We now swap into Salazzle, and the opponent banks a ton of energy, and yeah, you're going to see that that's quite significant in this battle. We go for a Dragon Pulse. It does connect. It doesn't do an awful lot of damage, but we do make it to a Poison Fang before they go for a charge move, and we actually grab a shield from the opponent here, so that's huge for me. Getting a shield advantage with my Salazzle into a Gelatin, and actually being up 2 shields now is so big for me. I'm going to come in with my Lurantis, and I will respect the damage here. If they go for a Shadow Ball, I should just be able to farm them down, but they come back in with Greedent, so very nice play from the opponent. I can let this move go through, and I will let it go through. I'm going to overfarm, but I lost track of their energy. They're already at another Body Slam. I'm going to continue to overfarm here, and they're at another Body Slam. This is such a bad play from me, like... this is just rustiness. I have not played in like nearly 2 weeks, so I'm going to blame it on that. I mean, honestly, it's pretty poor play from my end. The opponent goes for Crunch, knowing they won't reach a Body Slam, so going for that debuff. They come in with Araquanid, and I think this Araquanid is just a little bit too bulky for me to take this game. We go for the Poison Fang, go for a Flamethrower, and the opponent makes a brilliant catch. We did misplay at the early part of this battle, but now they are completely outplaying me, and yeah, there's no point throwing the Poison Fang here. We would win CMP, but it doesn't matter. It would not take out Araquanid. They take me out with a Bubble Beam, and we do lose that game. So very well played by that opponent. Into the next game, we see Vigoroth in the lead, so we are going to stay in this matchup. I'm going to go for a Superpower, and then I will swap into my Salazzle, assuming the opponent does shield it up. But let's see, going to go for it straight away into this Vigoroth, and Superpower actually does connect, and now we're able to farm them down. Going to come in with my Salazzle as they bring in a Noctowl. We do make it to the Poison Fang, just barely before they make it to a Sky Attack, and it does connect there. And actually, one of the things about the Poison Fang damage boost is that against Noctowl, once we land the first Poison Fang, we can double shield, and we should be able to fully farm down the Noctowl in this matchup, especially when they throw at an awkward time here. But I'm actually happy to let Salazzle go down, and now I can come in with my Salandit. They didn't have a good response to the Salazzle, and they've got a Talonflame in the back. Now, I think my only lose condition here is if I let the first charge move go through, calling that it's a bait, so I am just definitely going to shield this up, and the opponent does full send the Brave Bird here, and now I can just fully Poison Jab, farm them down, waste no time throwing a charge move, and I'm able to take that game. Into the next battle, we see Noctowl in the lead, so gonna swap into my Salazzle, and the opponent swaps into a Walrein, so this is a matchup that I can flip, especially when they don't even farm to the Earthquake, just an Icicle Spear, although that honestly has put me quite low already. Gonna go for a Poison Fang bait. Dragon Pulse wouldn't take them out, so it doesn't really matter that we're baiting here because we wouldn't have been able to take them out, but we do take them out with that second Poison Fang. They come in with Jellicent, we make it to a Dragon Pulse, and this will do some nice chip damage to the Jellicent. It puts them into range where I should just be able to farm them down with my leafage. Gonna let this move go through. They go for a Shadow Ball, and they're gonna swap back into Noctowl. Honestly, I should have called that straight away and instantly swapped out. Now we are 2 turns behind, and that is not ideal for me. I need this Poison Jab damage, and I need to get to the Poison Fangs really fast to debuff their defense. We're now gonna shield in this matchup here. Sky Attack grabs the final shield. I'm now going to overfarm, making sure I throw on CMP so that they do not overfarm whatsoever, and we grab the final shield from the opponent. Now our switch clocks are very slightly misaligned, so I'm expecting them to swap out here, but they didn't, and now I take too much wing attack damage. We go for a Superpower, it takes out the Noctowl, and the opponent is actually able to reach a last second charge move here. I thought I would get the farm down, but I'm not able to, and the opponent does take that game. So very well played by that opponent. Into the next battle, we see Walrein in the lead. Pretty even matchup. Gonna go for a Leaf Blade straight away, and this should grab an early shield. We win the CMP tie, and they do also throw straight away. So I'm gonna shield up the Icicle Spear, and then I'm gonna try and catch, but no, the opponent swaps into Wigglytuff. Honestly, I should have swapped into my Salandit here, just because that's kind of the whole reason I built it, was to absolutely destroy charm users. But we're also going to destroy them with our Salazzle as well and come out with a ton of loaded energy. Going to go for the Poison Fang. Unfortunately, we have to throw on alignment, but it doesn't really matter. Going to go for Poison Fang number 2, expecting a shield in this matchup, and we do grab that shield. It's also a CMP tie, which is huge. Gonna let the flame charge go through, come in with my Salandit, and now the opponent has to commit to the earthquake. They don't get there in time, and now I can go for a flamethrower, taking out the wall rain, and now I should be able to poison jab, farm down the Talonflame. The opponent sees the writing on the wall and they concede the match. Shout out to Home Slice Henry for that quote. But into the next battle, we see a Shadow Swampert in the lead. Great lead, the opponent swaps into Shadow Venusaur. Great save swap for me as well, and they also end up throwing on alignment, so everything is going my way so far. We even get a full farm down, come out with 100 energy. They come in with a Charizard. We can go straight for the Poison Fang, grabbing a shield as well. And now this Dragon Pulse, if it goes unshielded, will do huge damage. It nearly one-shots the Charizard. We come in with the Salandit. That was a bit premature. Our switch clock was not up yet, but it doesn't matter. We've got 2 shields. We can go for a Poison Fang. They even let that go through. Now we come in with Lurantis, and I'm even going to call that they're not running Sludge Wave. They go for a Hydro Cannon, we tank it, we take them out, and we take that game. Into the next battle, we see Obstagoon in the lead. So we've seen against Vigoroth, we stay in, we go for that superpower straight away. Is that what we're going to do here? I assume it probably is. We're going to go for that superpower. They actually get a boost, so it's pretty likely that they're going to use a shield here, and they do. So maybe I could have baited, but I'm not really keen on baiting when I know superpower would easily one-shot them and Leaf Blade wouldn't. So going to go for a Dragon Pulse, and they swap into Swampert. So it's quite fortunate that I didn't go for the Poison Fang, as that does quite a lot of damage, although they did get a Mud Shot through on the swap. So they get to a Hydro Cannon just barely before we get to a Poison Fang there. Now we're going to come in with Lurantis, and we do fully farm them down, which is great. They come in with a Chandelure, which is obviously not very good for me, but they are very, very glassy. So I think in this matchup, I might just be able to shield once and fully farm down this candle here. They go for a Flame Charge, they boost their attack, but we get the farm down. Now we can go for a Poison Fang here, and this hopefully grabs the final shield. It does do that, but somehow we lag there, and we don't get to a charge move. We actually win CMP up against Obstagoon, so I think we should have been able to win this game, but unfortunately lag takes the win away from us. Already the first battle of the season that we have lost to lag on day 1. Not a great start, but into the next battle, we see a Pelipper in the lead. Gonna go for that Leaf Blade, and it does huge damage, and this is where it's great having Leafage and not Fury Cutter. Of course, Fury Cutter would be resisted, but here we're actually able to win the 1 shield. The opponent probably knows that, and they do actually commit to using 0 shields themselves, which is quite a smart play there. So they did force a shield from me. We're now gonna go for that Dragon Pulse, and it does connect. The opponent also uses up some of their energy, going for the Hydro Cannon pretty much straight away. Hopefully we can get the farm down before they make it to a second Hydro Cannon. Let's see. We do get the farm down, and now we're going to come out with nearly 2 Leaf Blades loaded. Can we live a second Shadow Claw here? It's going to be very close, but we do get there in time. That's absolutely huge. This should put them into farm down range, but it's just a guessing game. Are they going to bait me? Will they full send the Shadow Ball? They do full send it. I call the bait, and unfortunately we do go down there. So GG's to that opponent. Into the next battle, we see Caracosta in the lead. Awesome lead for Lurantis. They come in with Charizard, and this is a matchup where they can actually flip this in pretty much all even shield scenarios, so I really need them to, for whatever reason, let this move go through, or at least let the second Poison Fang go through. I'm definitely going to double shield here. I cannot let that Caracosta align itself to my Salazzle, and now it's just, I have to hope. Do they let it go through? They do let it go through. I'm going to be able to realign my Pokemon, which is absolutely massive for me, but we are now shields down. I don't know if Salazzle will be able to beat what they've got in the back, but they've got a Razor Leaf Shadow Victory Bell, literally the perfect thing for Salazzle to see. They make it to a Leaf Blade, does not matter. It's double resisted. We tank it. We can go for a Dragon Pulse just to be sure that we grab a shield or take them out. We do grab that shield. We've got a Leaf Blade loaded, and this is going to be double super effective, easily being able to one-shot the Caracosta, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, a great lead leading into Lantern. The opponent swaps into Noctowl, and we have now arrived at the boring meta of last season. Gonna go for a Poison Fang here, and like I was saying, especially when the opponent throws on alignment, we should be able to realign with this matchup now that we have landed just one Poison Fang. We go for Poison Fang number 2, grabbing the shield. The opponent goes for a charge move here, much better timing this time around. They go for a Sky Attack, and here we actually barely don't take them out. I was gonna go for a Poison Fang just to make sure we got the KO there, as they were on 1 HP. It would have taken them out even through a shield, but it doesn't really matter. They've got Unova and Stunfisk, so my Salandit is going to have no play, so there's no point letting them farm me down. I'm just going to come in with Lurantis. The opponent sees that they don't really have an awful lot of play, and they just concede the match. Into the next battle, Charizard in the lead, awful lead, gonna swap into my Salazzle, and the opponent does make it to a Dragon Claw one turn before we get to a Poison Fang, so I'm going to shield that up, go for a Poison Fang now, and we do grab a shield from the Charizard, and here a Dragon Claw barely won't take us out, so I'm happy to force them to throw their energy straight away, and now we go for Poison Fang number 2. It does big damage, barely doesn't take them out, but I will be able to farm them down with my Salandit, and they didn't swap out, so they might be weak to a Poison Fire type in the back. They come in with a Cradilly, and Cradilly can now learn Rock Slide, so I'm going to go and swap and catch it onto my Lurantis. They go for the Rock Slide, they come in with Togedemaru, and they're going to go straight away for a Fell Stinger. Now this is actually going to do less damage than a Wild Charge, and I do very comfortably live it. These Thunder Shocks are resisted, so they won't be able to farm me down. We go for Superpower, grabbing the final shield from the opponent. They go for a Fell Stinger, straight away, and they also go for another Fell Stinger. This is going to be double resisted, so even though they're double boosted, it still does absolutely nothing. We go for that Flamethrower, taking out the Togedemaru, and now I should be able to make it to 2 Poison Fangs before they make it to back-to-back Rock Slides. We go for the first one, and that will debuff their defense, and now all we need to do is make it to a second Poison Fang in time. We easily get there, so I'm going to throw on correct timing. Poison Fang does take out the Cradilly, and Salandit takes that game. So GG's to that opponent, and into the final battle of this video, another Lantern in the lead, another great lead. The opponent swaps into a Crustal, and I just kind of panicked here. I shouldn't have gone for the Superpower. It does actually do typically like 1 more damage in neutral matchups than Leaf Blade, so it does a little bit more, but there was no reason to throw it there. We come in with our Salazzle, tried to catch an X-Scissor, didn't work out unfortunately, and we did have to use a shield on that Rock Blast. The opponent comes in with Lantern. They also use a shield on the Dragon Pulse, which is interesting. We're going to wait out the Switchcock here and come in with our Lurantis, but we are definitely misaligned here. They come in with a Rapidash, and this was just really bad timing. I don't know why I threw here. We go for a Superpower. We debuff our defense. That Incinerate did huge damage. I'm now going to shield up the Drill Run, and I barely make it to the Poison Fang. I need this to take them out. There's no other way around it, and it doesn't take them out here. And that is so painful, as this Drill Run will easily one-shot us. We do get the farm down. We come out with a Leaf Blade loaded, but this Lantern just has barely too much health for me to farm them down before they make it to one final Surf. And this Surf will easily take out Lurantis, and we do unfortunately lose the final game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And as for my response, I'm just going to go with Lurantis. A lot of people were saying that actually Fury Cutter's better in a lot of matchups, and sure, that might be the case in some scenarios. Certainly on this team where I've got 2 fire types, we don't really need that grass coverage with the Fury Cutter, so I thought leafage really did come in handy. If you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.